those whom I love, caught in webs of materialism, the despair of self-worship, and lost to the exaltation of the creation over the Creator. When you realize your attempts to love yourself are vapid and senseless in the wake of a pandemic, and thoughts of blood in your bath elude you, Jesus. For when the appointed kings, leaders, priests, politicians, rulers, and prophets fall through the cracks of cyclical human corruption, and your heart burns with righteous anger, Jesus. For when you realize your attempts to build temporal security in the form of a toilet paper castle in your garage may be the underpinnings of your soul grasping for a security that is of an eternal nature, Jesus. For when being dragged by your ideological rope, your lofty visions of utopia suddenly give way to Marxist tyranny, Jesus. For when, then, after indulging in a feast of the flesh, which was pregnant with promises of satisfaction in the quiet, there is a stillness that feels like a stillborn death, Jesus. For when your heroes robed in angel light shift into shadows of nightmarish magnitude overnight, Jesus. For the morning after you swallowed what they told you was medicine, but it made you hallucinate hell and vomit blood, and you stare at your thin hand shaking, Jesus. For moments when, whilst peering into the endless prisms of your own insanity, you are consumed with a sudden clarity that the knowledge of good and evil was contained in a single bite, Jesus. For when you realize all of your attempts to give yourself grace are hollow because you are not the one who can forgive sins, Jesus. For when the words of God begin to set your hairs on end, beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly are ravenous wolves, Jesus. For when you sacrifice yourself to gods of convenience, crafted in your own image, and lamenting at their malevolence, want to return to the light, Jesus. And this is the message we have heard from him and announced to you. God is light, and in him there is no darkness at all. Yet if the light within you is darkness, how great is that darkness? In all your remembering, may you remember, you are made in the image of the only one who is good. He formed you in your inmost being. He knit you together in your mother's womb. And two, the heavens declare the work of his fingers. Your sense of justice originated from his right hand. He is a king who takes up arms and rides into battle for truth and humility. He is a lamb who is led to slaughter and open not his mouth. He is a God of order and not the author of confusion. He is a refuge and a fortress to all those who fear him. Just as rain falls from the heavens and the waters do not return without making the ground sprout, so do the words return to him that proceed from his mouth. And his word says, everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. When you pass through the fires, the flames will not set you ablaze. In this great chasm of our sin, the God of ages stepped down into eternity to be born as a child, humbled himself in obedience to the point of death on a cross, to exemplify his righteousness, reconcile us to himself, and to show the riches of his great love for us. I look to the skies. Where does my help come from? The maker of heaven and earth. You may exit the labyrinth of your suffering at any moment and be transported to his kingdom of glorious light. Indeed, this earth is passing away. Indeed, a kingdom is coming. A new earth is dawning, but it will not be for the glory of man or by the work of human hands. How sweet a name, Jesus.